Hey guys, we're hearing a lot of confusion in the comments over what's going on and what's changing in SNAP and how it's going to affect you. And in the meantime, the USDA Secretary just signed 6 more waivers, expanding those changes to even more states. So let's talk about what's going on, who's going to be affected, when you're going to be affected, and what you need to know to be prepared. But before we dive into all of those details, I'm just curious. Do you support food restrictions for the SNAP program? I've been surprised at the mixed opinions that we've been hearing in our comments. So if you could just drop a quick yes or no and let me know, I would really appreciate that. I always like to know how you guys are thinking and feeling about these changes as they happen. Now, here's what we know for sure. On August 4th, USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins signed 6 more waivers, allowing even more states to restrict what can and cannot be purchased with those SNAP benefits. Now, you may be thinking, okay, it's only 6 more states. It's probably not going to affect me, but you would probably be wrong because there is also a push at the federal level to enact these changes. And as you can see right here, all states are being encouraged to submit these requests. As FDA Commissioner Marty Makary said, I hope to see all 50 states join this bold common sense approach. It's time for powerful changes to the nation's SNAP program. So he's not the only one who's spoken up about this. We've seen loads of other leaders saying things along the same lines. And that's why we're seeing this push not only in the states, but also at the federal level. So, like I told you last week, the federal government is right now asking for your feedback on what the term ultra processed food means. And they're doing that because there is no standard definition. So, there's no easy way for them to just ban ultra processed foods from SNAP because nobody agrees on what that means. So, any definition that they decide on could be used to influence your SNAP benefits, could be used to determine what WIC can buy, could be used to determine what's available at school meals, and so on. So, it's very important to make sure that your voice is heard in this process. They have made it fairly easy to make your voice heard. They are accepting public comment on this until September 23rd of 2025. You just need to go to federalregister.gov, find this page on the ultra processed foods, and then answer the questions and give your feedback there. But like I said, they're also not waiting for these federal changes. They're pushing hard and fast to get this enacted at the state level. And because there's no clear definition of what ultra processed food means, we're seeing new patchwork restrictions going state by state, where some states are saying no to soda, some are saying no to soda and candy, some are saying no to anything that's taxable or to things that contain more than 5 grams of sugar or less than 50% actual juice or whatever. And it's going to get very, very confusing as each state starts to roll out their individual plan for SNAP. So I want you to be very clear on this one point because we've heard a lot of people coming in the comment section saying that they've already been told that they can't buy soda, they've already been told that they can't buy these things, or that SNAP isn't working at all. And there's a lot of confusion out there because this news is just relentless and these changes are happening so fast every day that it's just impossible for people to keep up. So, the thing I want you to know right now is that at this time, these changes have not taken effect yet. We're expecting these changes to go into effect on or after January 1st of 2026. That's the earliest I've seen that they're planning to implement these changes. So if a cashier or someone is telling you that that's already been implemented, more than likely that is not correct. I am not aware of any situation in America right now where that would be the truth. So if somebody does tell you that while you're shopping, I would love if you would tell me where you were shopping when it happened. So maybe if it's, like a major chain, I can reach out to their press department and make sure we're kind of all on the same page here about what's going on. But for the most part, this isn't something that you should have to worry about right now today, but this is coming in the future and it's not going to be very long before all these hit. So with that in mind, let's talk about where the changes are happening first. So the 6 new states that got their waivers, we're going to go through those, and then we're going to talk about the other states that were already impacted. So first up, Colorado will begin restricting the purchase of sugary drinks on March 1st of 2026. This waiver is going to define those sugary drinks as anything that has more than 5 grams of sweetener per 12 ounces. Okay. Now it's interesting because when we first started talking about these new restrictions that are being rolled out, I told you how thrilled I was with the way Colorado was handling it. Because not only, I mean, yeah, they did put in the waiver to cut out the sugary drinks, but they also asked for permission to let you buy hot prepared foods like a rotisserie chicken, right? And the logic there was kind of like, well, yeah, but why are we allowing all this unhealthy food if we're also not letting them buy healthy food? So they were going to enable you to specifically buy hot rotisserie chickens and other healthy prepared foods. They also submitted a waiver to allow the state of Colorado to participate in the restaurant meals program, which allows people who are elderly, homeless, or disabled to use their SNAP food benefits at restaurants like Subway so that they can buy meals that they don't have to cook at home because they aren't able to cook at home in a lot of cases. They also had a waiver that would make it easier for farmers markets to start accepting SNAP benefits. But the USDA didn't rule on any of those other things. They just said, oh, yeah, you can ban sugary drinks. And they completely ignored the other 3 requests that Colorado has submitted. So there hasn't been any progress made on those points yet. And it's really kind of frustrating that we're only seeing this go the one way and they're not making the decision on those other parts of that waiver. Now, of course, there are other states that are moving forward with this as well. Florida will stop the purchase of soda, energy drinks, candy, and prepared desserts with SNAP benefits effective January 1st of 2026. Louisiana will stop the purchase of sodas, energy drinks, and candy on January 15th of 2026. Oklahoma is scheduled to stop the purchase of sodas and candy on January 1st of 2026. Like I said before, 2026 is when all these changes are going to start happening. Texas, with their waiver, intends to stop the purchase of soda and candy on April 1st of 2026. And West Virginia will also be stopping the purchase of soda on January 1st of 2026. Now, those are the new waivers, but they're not all the waivers. Like I've told you before in other videos, Arkansas is going to be restricting soda, unhealthy drinks, and candy starting in July of next year. Idaho is banning soda and candy. Indiana is doing soda and candy. Iowa's got a really weird rule going into effect where they're going to stop you from buying anything that is taxable starting January 1st. And that's going to include things like granola bars that people often think are healthy. However, the USDA has clarified that seeds will still be eligible for purchase. Nevada was, of course, the first state that got this kind of a waiver, and they'll be banning soda and energy drinks starting in January. Utah will be banning soda starting in January. So you can see this is spreading to a lot of different states very quickly. And again, there is that push to enact this on a federal level, which would then affect everyone in all states. So make sure that you reach out, get your voice heard on that federal register about, what you think constitutes ultra processed food, but also how you think that definition that they're going to create should impact your benefits, if at all, because that's really the important question that I think a lot of us here on this channel will be asking. And with that in mind, don't forget that you can get cash back on your EBT purchases when you shop with our sponsor, Ibotta. You can download the app now with the link that you see on screen. And don't forget to check out our other videos for more EBT news and more ways to save money and get free stuff. I'll see you there.